So we are just 2 hours away from the first polls closing on Election Day. New Jersey and Virginia are electing governors. New York City is choosing a mayor. And that race could forever alter the course of the Democratic Party. Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, and Republican Curtis Sliwa duking it out for who leads the Big Apple. President Trump weighing in by endorsing Andrew Cuomo and threatening to cut funds if communist Zohran Mamdani wins the mayor's race. Here's what the candidates are saying.
Endorsements that Andrew Cuomo has got. We're talking about Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Stephen Miller. These are the architects in many ways of the crisis of authoritarianism that New Yorkers are facing. And Andrew Cuomo is so unwilling to tax Donald Trump's billionaire donors because he knows those are the same ones whose checks that he's busy cashing trying to get back to City Hall.
President Trump is pragmatic. He is telling them the reality of the situation, which is if you do not vote, Mamdani is going to win. Who is Mamdani? I don't know, but he's a democratic socialist. He'll bring socialism to New York City. New York City will not thrive with a socialist economy.
Cuomo needs to go back, hide under his rock out in the Hamptons with his billionaire friends who have left really a stench over the city of New York.
Some top Democrats are fawning over Mamdani's campaign. Barack Obama was offering to be a sounding board. Others, not so sure.
Do you see Mamdani as the future of the Democratic Party?
No, I think the future of the Democratic Party is going to fall, as far as we're concerned, relative to the House Democratic Caucus and members who are doing a great work all across the country.
Kaylee, let me turn it over to you and just set the picture for us, because these are races that are local and state elections, but I think that they have bigger consequence for the country going forward.
Without a doubt. I mean, you think back to 2021 and you think about this huge victory by Glenn Youngkin, and then you also think about how close Jack Ciattarelli came, and the animating themes of those elections were transgenderism was one of them. The woke agenda was another. Parents having rights in schools. And oh, wait, if those sound familiar, they should, because they animated the election that won Donald Trump the White House. But we knew these themes were percolating up 4 years ago, 4 years prior to that moment, because of a night like tonight. So we will see themes in Virginia where it looks like the Democrat has the advantage, in New Jersey, where these are the more moderate candidates. And when Jessica Tarlov is back, I'm sure she'll say this is proof that moderates win, and that's the message of the Democratic Party. But we can't lose sight of Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist who is poised potentially to take over New York City. And let me just say this about Zohran Mamdani. He's selling voters a basket of lies. And there are two facts that I found today that I think are very important. One, the state that spends the most on welfare and education combined is New York City. No state spends more than New York State on those two items. In fact, they spend 72% more than Texas on that, 130% more than Florida. Zohran wants free childcare. That would cost, let's see, $6 billion a year. He wants free buses. He wants city-owned grocery stores. So you already have the biggest welfare state, and you want to pour more into the welfare state. At the same time, fact number two, millionaires are leaving. There's been a 2% decline in millionaires. If you look at that $10 million and above bracket that you really need to fund the programs, 10% have fled over a 4-year period. So your taxpayers are dwindling. You are promising free stuff, and you are, I hate to say it, it sounds harsh, lying to your voters who are not going to wake up tomorrow with free childcare, city-run grocery stores, and the like. And it's really quite awful what he's doing, but it's going to be a wake-up call for the nation when you contrast a robust Trump economy that I believe is on the horizon and Zohran Mamdani.
And Harold, this is in addition to the political parties going through realignments, the Republicans quite farther along than the Democrats on that front. But it's also the first real election, I think, since COVID, where you have the change in the electorate in terms of who has left. So you have a different type of electorate right now than you did even 4 years ago.
You're right. It's good to be with everybody. Just to put some of this level setting around New York, the last two mayors we've had, Bill de Blasio, who served for 8 years, he thought he was a national figure. He ran for president, and his campaign was roundly rebuffed. Eric Adams was mayor. He started off on a great trajectory and projected himself and billed himself as the future of the party, that if the Democrats wanted to succeed, they needed to follow him. He ran into some obstacles. He now finds, as he's leaving, many of the things that he wanted to do, Dana, he's actually doing. Crime is coming down in the city. The economic plight of the city is actually improving. in many ways. Two, Mamdani won't be the face of the Democratic Party or the life of the Democratic Party. He'll be part of it. And I'm not prepared tonight at 5:15 to say that he's won. You work for a president who they said he had lost and he actually won the race.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's let the voters make their cast their votes. We still have 4 hours, 3 hours, and 45 or 55 minutes to go in this race. Three, I look at the Democratic Party and look at some mayors, and I've mentioned these people on the show before. The mayor of your home city of Philadelphia, Sherelle Parker, she beat a guy and helped beat a district attorney who many believe, rightly so, were just letting criminals back onto the streets. She ran on that black woman, ran on a tough crime message. In San Francisco, we've made fun of them. We've talked about serious challenges they face. They unelected. A Democrat ran against another Democrat in the primary, Daniel Lurie, and is now tackling crime in a different way and trying to bring about more investment in the city in many ways. Much like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz are not the face of the Republican Party, he won't be the face of the Democratic Party. But where you're right, Kayleigh, is that he has touched on the issue that I think has animated this race, not only in New York, but all across the country. There's a mayor's race in Seattle tonight, DP, faced with the same kind of thing, a young progressive running against an incumbent.
A young white woman running against a diverse older guy who's like, wait, I did all the right things and nobody likes me?
But we'll see. So we'll see what happens there. And that race also will be a telltale. I want to let the voters vote tonight. I think the real race is your home state of Jersey, your home state, but where you count as one of your homes.
One of your homes. Wow.
Excuse me, one of her many homes.
A place you call home. That race tonight will determine who's the winner tonight. Republicans and Democrats. I don't think the margin really matters. As someone that lost a race, and the people who voted for me said we were enthusiastic for you, and the people who voted for the other guy said we were so-so on him. I'd much rather win a race with unenthusiastic majority than lose it with an enthusiastic minority. So that race tonight is the one I'm watching the most. And in New York, everybody's watching the margin. If indeed Mamdani wins, does he get over 50? He obviously has a mandate to do some of the things that Kayleigh so eloquently talked about.
Okay, before I ask Jesse a question, just so that I'm sure everybody's noticed on your screen, we have the Fox News voter poll up there. So we'll be getting more from Sandra Smith towards the end of the show. But you can see a few of these things percolating in. And just from a quick glance, the economy, Jesse, is certainly the big deal. But Trump and Mamdani, the Democrats want Trump to be the end-all, be-all. Republicans are going to make Mamdani the face of it. And he's not a shrinking violet. He wants to be the party leader.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.